have some possible additions. I want the aldermen to know that I haven't overlooked you. I know that a number of you need new PCs or laptops. So we calculated that if we got new laptops for all the elected officials, they run about $1,300 a piece, and that would be $13,000. We could put it into the capital development fund, and we could do it either, maybe half this year or half next year, or if it's your pleasure not to do it at all, that's fine, or on an as-needed basis. No, this was, this was for everything. This was for the software, and it was for like a laptop like I need, which I don't think that the alderman would need a laptop which has the software on it that I have. Yeah, for email, right. So we could probably get by with less than $1,300 a piece.
We could probably get those reduced. Maybe 13,000 is not the right figure. I guess basically what Linda and I were interested in is, I don't know the last time laptops were purchased for the council members. Well, my suggestion would be that we put monies in the budget in order to do that. Capital Development Fund would be my recommendation. $9,000, we'll get them for as little as possible. $9,000 would probably be a good figure. We'll just tell them that's all we've got available. We'll put that in the Capital Development Fund budget so that you realize that's going to be put in there.
I have one more addition. Former Mayor Lester Snyder came to me, and there's some money left in the Celebration 2009 budget, and what he would want to do is donate it to the city for a pavilion, and he would like the city to match the donation that they make. And they have approximately $27,000 that they'd like to donate to the city. And I'm sorry he's not here. I was hoping he would be here tonight so he could talk about it. But I think he's looking for a pavilion at, I was thinking Menor.
Well, I would anticipate if the match is going to be made, it would be coming out of the Capital Development Fund to do that. Now, if you want to take a look at the Capital Development Fund and take a look at other projects to see if you want to cut, or if you just want to put it in, that we can take a look at.
Linda, getting back to the capital developments fund here, on the bottom line, if we go from a balance of 1.5 million this year to 500,000 next year, what happens the year after that? Are we on a runaway train here on this thing?
Well, we're hoping next year is going to be better than this year, and that our revenues are going to start picking up. We're hoping that our sales tax will pick up, but we can't keep doing this. We can't keep transferring $445,000 out of the Capital Development Fund. We won't be able to do it next year. We can do it this year, we can't do it next year.
Yeah. The one item that you take a look at too, Alderman Stubb, is you're just going to have to cut the projects out. We have some projects in there, you're just going to have to cut them out. You won't be able to add new ones.
So should we be cutting more out this year?
That
Here I just spent 27,000 and not although getting 100% match. I don't know, in your opinion, are you setting us up, I don't mean you, are we setting ourselves up for a fall in 365 days when we come back here again and do this, and it's like, now what? Should we be more prudent in our expenditures this year or not? Or do you feel that the recovery is around the corner and we can...
I think it's always worth looking at all of this. As I had indicated, the issue that came up that we were not expecting is the difficulties with the motor fuel tax fund, which blends into the account that you're seeing here. Some of those funds. That in and of itself is the 285,000 that we're seeing coming out of here.
Then that won't be a reoccurring expense, so that's.
That's right. Well, almost anything you see in here could be just a one-time, well, with the exception of we have to fund the sinking bond fund
Right.
in order to pay the,
Right.
in order to pay the bonds. Short of that, anything that you see in here does not have to occur. It's just at the council's desire to have the projects completed.
Which I think we all want to do.
I mean, anything is possible. We've gone through these lists on a number of occasions, and some of it cannot be pared back because we've got obligations out there. Some of it is like the ambulance payments. That's $50,000 in there. There's no way we can get by without doing those types of things. A lot of the equipment that's in there is replacing equipment that's basically on its last leg, our legs. Now, that doesn't mean that, we can certainly, as I had indicated, Linda and I will take a look back through again and see. But in dealing with the department heads, the second time we met with them, we asked them if there was anything they felt that they could reduce. Those were the reductions that you were seeing coming out of the budget.
Yeah, I think what we need to ask ourselves is what's capital development there for? I mean, every item that you see under capital development are capital development items. So we can spend it this year, we can spend it next year. I mean, if we think we don't need to do it, then don't do it. But I even heard on every one of these, the road replacements are the major chunks of change here, the bridge analysis, the street constructions, those are the larger amounts. If we don't do them, well, then the roads are going to be a year older, and some will have matching funds, so we're just going to be out that money. So whether we end up the year with $800,000 or $900,000 budget and cut something out, and it's a cash balance. I mean, this is what you have a savings account for, just like at home. You might have been saving up for kids' college or for a new car or something, but sometimes things come up and you got to buy an air conditioner. That's what we're doing. We're buying an air conditioner instead of a new road or something else that we planned. We really didn't have any long-term goals and plans that I know of for capital development. It's for times like this. We get roughly $1 million a year in revenue into the fund, and next year we'll get that same roughly $1 million. And we already know that 700 and almost 800,000 is gone. So there's $200,000 in the next year.
I don't think the question was the expenditures, it was the depletion rate, and if the depletion rate is insurmountable in the future. And some of these are one-time expenditures, and if it's depleted, you stop.